It's all about those pesky rats. You know what I mean. This is Talk Council. But first, Christan Hems, Pest Interceptors, a company that's a boast without perhaps any fear or favour that they know everything they need to know about rats, and they can be absolutely sure that they would get rid of them. Very good morning to you, Christian.
Good morning, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm very well indeed. Now, this sounds like a job for you guys. Birmingham City overrun by giant rats. Have you ever seen them? Have you ever been to Birmingham to see them? And if you haven't, could you go there and get rid of them?
Well, I mean, those photos there and that video there kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you've got people living in squalor and those people really don't care about how they're living, you know, I mean, it's not just Birmingham. We were doing a job just down in Wolverhampton this week.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable, Mike. Honestly, to solve our customer's problem, we needed to get into a manhole, right? The sewers run.
Yeah.
And I went round to the neighbours and I climbed on the rubbish in the back garden, and I was at the same level as the 6-foot fence.
Oh, my God. Well, they just chuck their rubbish in the back garden.
It's classed as normality now, you know, and it's like certain parts of Birmingham. It's just incredible, mate. Incredible.
Wow. I mean, what do they think's going to happen if they chuck rubbish in the garden? I mean, you're going to get rats. It's not rocket science, is it?
Well, the horrific thing about this particular garden was when I looked down, it wasn't just building waste and God knows what else in there. It was actually nappies, babies' nappies, you know, that had just been thrown out the window. It's like, what on earth is going on with society?
Right. And who's doing this? I mean, what sort of people are they?
Well, there are certain areas, aren't there? You know, I mean, I mean, let's call it
for what it is. Is it immigrant neighbourhoods? What is it?
The harder pressed the neighbourhood is, the worse it is, I think. Right. You know, I mean, we've gone to houses where people... We did one job over in Walsall where there was a lady with a child, you know, with a newborn baby, I think it was. And there were rat holes coming up in every corner of the bedrooms, rat holes in there. And it's like, this woman was renting this place. Right. And it's like, well, why is that even allowed to be rented?
Yeah.
Those people need to be gotten rid of in our society.
Yeah.
So people lift themselves up a little bit out of the squalor that they're living in.
Yeah.
But you see, there's a big misconception here as well, Mike, that the rubbish is causing the rats.
Right.
It's not helping the problem at all, because you're giving them harbourage, which is somewhere to live and to nest.
Yeah.
But also it's a food source.
Yeah.
But I guarantee the rats have come from a broken sewer pipe somewhere, or drainage pipe, because that's what we do. We travel all over the country going to people who've had rats for 5, 10, 50 years in one place, right, up in Liverpool. And it was nothing to do with the squalor, but the rats that you're seeing on the streets of Birmingham, Wolverhampton, Dudley, wherever, London, I guarantee if someone put some effort in and traced where they were coming from and to, they'll be going to the rubbish for food, but they'll be coming from a sewerage problem.
Yeah.
And that's where 99% of rats in houses come from as well, by the way. Right. They're not climbing up ivy and getting in like that. You can see I'm a bit passionate about this, mate.
No, I can tell. Listen, I can do a whole show with you. Stay where you are, though, because I've got to talk to Timothy Huxtable, councillor at Birmingham City Council. Timothy, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Do you recognise what Christian's saying? I mean, it sounds as though Birmingham's got a big problem, not just in the rat situation, but also just in the infrastructure situation. Houses with rat holes in them, sewage pipes broken. What's going on?
Absolutely, Mike. Well, we've been hit in Birmingham by a double whammy, because last year the Labour Council introduced a rat tax that's a charge for pest control services for residents of Birmingham, and coupled with the 8th week of industrial action in Birmingham by waste management, means bins aren't being collected, the streets are strewn with litter, mountains of black bags, fly tipping, etc. So it really is that double whammy, so that we've now got, as one of your listeners has said, rats as big as cats.
Yeah. Really? Have you seen them, these big rats?
I did. Ironically, coming back from a council meeting, one just scurried in front of me and my girlfriend as we were walking in the city centre.
Crikey.
As bold as you like.
Yeah, extraordinary. And so, I mean, is the city government, the local council, going to do anything about this? Because it's obviously reached epidemic proportions.
Well, as I say, they made the situation worse by introducing the rat tax in Birmingham last year. We've said in the budget debate only earlier this week we would scrap the rat tax, we would introduce more mobile household waste centres to get that waste, that fly tipping, that food source out of the train. We would increase street cleansing, and they've also come up with a crazy plan to do weekly waste collections instead of fortnightly waste collections. We would restore that to weekly waste collections. We would not go to fortnightly waste collections because that would only make the situation worse.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed, Timothy. We haven't got a lot of time on this, unfortunately, but it sounds like we need to come back and investigate properly. We might have to set a camera crew up there. Christian, just finally from you, we've only got about a minute here. Can you get rid of these rats? I mean, if you were employed by Birmingham City Council, could you do it?
100%. 100%.
How would you do it?
Because I know that they're coming from the sewers. The problem here is the water authorities.
Yeah.
Every single job, I can't say every single job, but 99 out of 100
But just briefly,
sewers.
Christian, how would you get rid of them? Do you have to kill them? Would you lead them away with a Pied Piper? What do you do?
Kind of. It's a sensible system. You put that in the broken pipe.
Yeah.
The rats go through there. Your poo and water goes through there. The rats, when they try to come back out of the sewer system, can't go through the flat.
Okay.
You don't even need to use rodenticide, otherwise known as poison.
Yeah.
And these companies that are putting down rodenticide, which doesn't just kill the rats in a horrible, horrible manner, by the way. It kills barn owls, it kills badgers, you name it. And they shouldn't be using it. It should be a last line of defence, not a Band-Aid. What they need to do is get to the root cause of that problem.
Yeah,
and
it's an extraordinary story.
It costs money, mate.
Yeah, listen, Christian, great to talk to you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you. We're coming back to you soon again because we need to get your advice and expertise on all sorts of things. Christan Hems from Pest Interceptors there, Councillor Timothy Huxtable, Birmingham City Council, who saw one of the rats with his own eyes. As big as a cat, he said. Unbelievable stuff. They're coming out of the sewers. I mean, if you're in Birmingham, you need to talk to me. I need to find out what's going on. People are chucking nappies in the street, dirty nappies, rubbish in the back garden. What's going on? I need to know. This is important. I'll be back with more from Morning Glory after the news. Welcome back to Morning Glory. Coming up to nearly 4 minutes past 8. I'm Mike Graham with you all the way through until 10 o'clock. Peter Cardwell's in for Julie Hartley-Brewer. I'll tell you what, I've had to take a couple of deep breaths after that conversation about the rats in Birmingham. Blimey, sounds absolutely awful up there. I need to hear from some of you up there because, of course, these are the kinds of stories that people really, really think about. You know, we can talk about Ukraine all day. We can talk about Gaza. We can talk about what's happening with the two-tier justice system. But when you talk about things like rats in the middle of one of the biggest cities, they call it Britain's second city, don't they, as far as Birmingham is concerned, and it sounds as though it's going to rack and ruin, and thanks in no large part to the council, who don't seem to know what they're doing. But we spoke there as well to, of course, one of the interested parties, a man who knows a thing or two about removing rats. I mean, it really sums up the state of this nation, doesn't it? If we can't control the rat population, and we can't fix the sewage pipes, and we can't sort out the water carrying system in this country, we're going to be infested with rodents. And that tells you everything you need to know. Potholes, rats, you know, services that don't work. It's almost like a failing state, isn't it? Peter?
So there you go then. That's what my thoughts are on the rats of Birmingham and every city in the area. What do you think? Should Birmingham City Council pay the Pest Interceptors to give them a rat-free lifetime guarantee? Do you need a rat-free lifetime guarantee? There's a link right here. Here's a video about it, and here's a playlist about it. I hope you enjoyed that. It was quite stressful this morning, very early when we recorded that. Hope you love this video. Keep watching. Thank you.